What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your Daily Fantasy Quickie. Hey guys, it's the Daily Fantasy Quickie. 3 days left, right? 3 days left.
Yes, 3 days
basketball,
left.
Fantasy basketball, and it's been an exciting year. It's an even exciting last 3 days. It's gonna be an even exciting last 3 days. Before we started this recording, we were strategizing about our Roto League before we recorded, and it's exciting. It's close.
It's a different challenge, really.
It's a different
so
challenge.
Hard.
Yes.
Yeah, so hard.
But it's exciting. So I think it's also good. If you have let's say a Roto league, it's also good to co-manage.
Yes.
Have a league. I think I'm thinking maybe we could create a league wherein you should be two managers.
Yeah, that's also a good
right. Good idea. Co-manage. Yeah. Every team should be co-managed, right? And
yes.
And you'll get to experience what it's like to figure out who to play, who not to play, especially if the matchups are really close. So it's an exciting dynamics as well. All right, let's talk about some updates. Quick updates. Sabonis is out, injured again.
He got injured twice. He got kneed in the thigh, and then his knee also he got hurt there. But their coach said it was out of precaution that they didn't bring him back. The Pacers have a lot to play for, so for Sabonis owners, let's pray that it's something that he can play through. He wanted to come back, but the GM did not allow him to come back.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'll keep him because, as I said, the Pacers have a lot to play for, so I'll keep him for the meantime.
Richaun Holmes.
This one's done. He's done for this season.
They don't have anything to play for.
Yes.
So I think he will be sitting out.
Sitting out. Yes.
Kendrick Nunn was also out.
Yes, I'm not sure if it's also because they were up big or whatever, but I dropped him already. I cannot risk him missing 1 or 2 games. They have a back-to-back the last 2 days, so the schedule should have been good for Kendrick Nunn, but I could not risk it, so I dropped him.
Yeah, and he is lower tiered player compared. Low end player compared to Holmes and Sabonis. Bradley
Beal is out again tomorrow. Probably gonna be out the rest of the way. So I guess at least we were right in our advice to drop him already.
Yeah.
So Kyrie Irving will come back tomorrow. He's ready. So that's good news for Kyrie owners. So there.
And the Brooklyn Nets, because
yes,
they'll have all 3 tomorrow, right?
Yeah, you will have all 3 tomorrow.
So
that's the first time
to see that as well. Yeah, so let's talk about some teams that have games that matter, because over the next 3 days, there will be teams who will be playing for something, and teams who will be playing for something would most likely have their core players play versus teams who do not have anything to play for. Okay, so let's talk about those teams who probably won't have anything to play for, and those teams who probably would like to push it more because they need some seeding, whether a good seeding, a good matchups in the playoffs, or avoiding the play-in tournament. So let's talk about the play-in first, I guess. Or let's talk about
let's talk about the East and then the West.
Yeah.
So that it will be easier. For the East, let's go. The tanking teams are out, so we don't have to discuss that. The question is the top: Philly, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee. That's how they are ranked right now. Technically, Brooklyn can still overtake Philly for the number 1 spot, but Philly will be playing Orlando back-to-back to complete their season, and we know they're gonna beat Orlando no matter what, right? So
how many games are they ahead?
they're ahead by 1.5, but they have
So
the
they
tiebreaker.
they just need one game.
Yes.
All
And they
right.
had a game today, and they have a game tomorrow. I don't think Joel Embiid is gonna play tomorrow. I would be shocked if Joel Embiid plays tomorrow. Especially he didn't look really good today.
Mhm.
So if they win tomorrow, there's nothing else actually for Philadelphia to play for because they've clinched number 1. So I highly doubt he's gonna play the last game against Orlando also. Similar with Ben Simmons. So you have to plan with that in mind, that they're not gonna play the last game.
The last game, if they win tomorrow, the last game would probably be
Non-bearing.
Shake Milton, Mike Scott,
Dwight
right.
Howard.
Dwight Howard, those players. I doubt that, this is just me speculating, okay? It's not guaranteed, but I doubt their starters would play
Yes.
just to give them an additional day of rest. They're
Yes.
gonna be resting anyway, so might as well rest them now, start resting them now, and
And it's a non-bearing game. So there's no
and
point.
it's against
There's really no
Orlando.
point.
It would have been different if it's maybe against Brooklyn or maybe one of the
Yes.
top tier teams.
Yes.
But it's against Orlando, who really has nobody there as well. So if they win tomorrow, you have to watch out, and chances of them playing their starters would be very unlikely. For Brooklyn, I'm assuming it's pretty much the same thing.
From Brooklyn, Milwaukee can overtake them. But again, that depends on their games tomorrow for Brooklyn. They have Chicago and Cleveland, which are both, out already, and I think winnable games. But for Brooklyn, it's different because, as Jeremy said, they will have the top 3, their big 3 for the first time tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they have an incentive to play them even for just 20 or 25 minutes, just to get them more reps, more plays, so that they'll be more used to each other. So I think there is a chance that these 3 will play until the end. There is a chance, and I feel they might do that. Although it's a back-to-back. Their game is not tomorrow. Their game is on the weekend, on Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday, Monday. So there is a chance they rest them because it's a back-to-back, but at least there is a logical reason for them to play them also.
Then how many games are they ahead of
Milwaukee? 1 game ahead of Milwaukee. So they just basically need to win 1 also. Milwaukee would want to win it out also. I believe Milwaukee would want to win their last 2 games. But if Brooklyn wins 1, maybe we'll see Giannis skip the last game. So on Sunday, Giannis might also be in danger of missing. So basically, that's how it is for the top teams. The crucial ones are the middle teams, the Atlanta, Miami, New York. These teams, they're all in contention for
the number 4 seed.
For the number 4 seed. And the good thing is, on Sunday, Atlanta, New York, they play at 1 a.m. On Monday, 1 a.m. So they would not really know if Atlanta already won, because Atlanta has a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So they would not know if they won. They would not know if Miami lost, or the 3 of them will not know. So basically, they'll probably have to play out their roster and then see what happens in the end, because their game is simultaneous. So these 3 teams, you're in a safer zone. The players, they're probably gonna play them, and then after that will be Boston. Boston is already done. They're 7th. They're stuck at 7th.
Yep.
That is big trouble for Kemba and Tatum owners. I do hope we get 1 game from them because
well, we'll see. But so Boston has nothing to play for, so you'll probably just have
nothing to play for.
Wait and see if they'll play Tatum at least a game of the 2 maybe. Charlotte and Indiana though, and Washington. Washington hasn't officially clinched. There are 2 games ahead, so they need to win at least 1 game to clinch. So Beal won't be playing the next game. He is most likely out, but what are the possibilities of him playing if they lose the next game?
I doubt he will play. It's a hamstring thing, and I doubt they will lose tomorrow though. It's Cleveland. I know
Alright.
Cleveland is playing better, but Westbrook will not allow them to lose tomorrow. It's just that they would want it more. So Westbrook will probably play his last game tomorrow of the season. They'll win it and they'll rest their players for the last day.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I believe.
so it's pretty much Charlotte and Indiana fighting for that 8th spot, and that 8th
Until the
spot
end.
that's a big advantage as well for the 8th spot,
Yes,
because as
yes.
an 8th seed, you have 2 chances of getting to the playoffs instead of just 1, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure if how who wants what, or I'm pretty sure they both want that 8th seed. So most likely they'll play all their players. Sabonis, like we talked about earlier, might be able to play, especially if he'll probably play it through.
Depends. We don't know. That's the thing. I don't really know if Indiana, Caris LeVert even did not play today. So that's another injury, by the way. And I don't know if it's a legit injury or they're resting him, but it's not a back-to-back. So I don't know. I don't know how motivated Indiana is to make the playoffs. It doesn't seem like it, because maybe they feel like they're gonna lose anyways because they're not. Malcolm Brogdon is out, Miles Turner is out, so I don't know how motivated they are. But logically, they should be trying to get into that 8th spot. So there.
All right. So that's the East. Let's go to the West. So the West, Utah, the top teams. I guess Utah and Phoenix are still battling it out for that number 1 seed.
Yes.
Right.
Phoenix have I think they have the tiebreaker over Utah. Yeah. They're 1 game behind, but they have the tiebreaker over Utah. So they just need Utah to lose a game.
Yep.
And then they win all their games for them to overtake Utah. But that's kind of impossible because Utah is playing OKC and Sacramento for their last 2 games. So, but still, they have to win them, right? So
again, you never know. Stranger things have happened before.
Yeah, but the point is, the important thing is, if you're a Utah, like you own Gobert, you own Clarkson, you own these guys. Yeah, those are easy wins, but they still have to play Gobert and those guys to win.
Yeah.
Right? Those are not sure wins. So they would probably play them. And the good thing is, while they're winning, Phoenix would also have to play their players, because what if there's an upset, right? So I don't think Phoenix wants to stay at number 2 because the Lakers might be the opponent in the first round. So I think Phoenix, their last 2 games is a back-to-back in San Antonio. Another team with nothing to play for. So I think Phoenix can win it out their next 2 games.
So at least it's kind of clear that most likely Utah and Phoenix would play out the remaining schedules.
Should be. Yeah.
Unless they surprise
unless they want
us.
to play LeBron, or they feel
how
LeBron
does the play-in goes? So the Lakers are currently 7th. Golden State is currently 8th.
Yeah, they
If
play.
the Lakers lose,
They go 8.
They go 8.
They will fight for 8. So they will go down to number 8.
Right. Okay.
Now, it's hard to speculate what will happen. But if I'm the Utah Jazz or the Phoenix Suns, I'll speculate LeBron will probably not lose that first play-in game. They'll go all out. They'll go all out. So I still feel that the number 1 seed is a big bonus, because you're probably gonna. Well, I don't know if it's a bonus, because if you're gonna play Steph and the Warriors, but I guess it's a choice. Well, this season is kind of crazy, but still go with number 1. I still want the Warriors.
It actually depends. I think, right? I think right now, Phoenix probably. Both these teams would probably want to clinch that number 1 seed. I think Utah and Phoenix would probably want it. It's gonna be rare for them. They haven't done it for years, right? They haven't done it for years, and it's a great accomplishment if they'll be able to do it. At least there's that. The Clippers and Denver are fighting as well.
Are trying to out-tank each other right now. No one wants to be number 3
because they're going to go up against Portland,
and if they win, it's possibly the Lakers. So I have talked about this. The best situation for the Nuggets to stay at number 4. Again, the Clippers gonna play Houston and OKC. I don't think they can I don't think they can lose those games even if they try to lose those games. So I think Clippers will stay 3, but you'll not see Kawhi and Paul George, in my opinion, anymore this season. That's just what I think. They're not gonna play anymore this season.
Yeah.
So they're out.
There's really not much incentive for them to go at number 3, I guess. So that's the point. And
but they're stuck there. I think they're stuck there.
Yeah, they might just end up there, being there because of their opponent, who are also tanking and will be hard to out-tank. So there's that. Dallas and Portland are also still in a battle for that.
And the Lakers, actually.
Yeah, and the
Dallas,
Lakers
Portland,
are still
and the Lakers.
can still make it in that number 6 seed. Thanks to Norm Powell today, right? So So Portland has 1 more game. The Lakers has 2 more. The Lakers need to win 1 game. They need to win both, right?
They need to win both. They need the Blazers to lose 1. Their last game. So you could 100% sure Dame, Nurk, everybody else will play their hearts out the last game of the Blazers.
Yeah,
sure. The Lakers,
they must play because we need them as well.
Dallas, if they win 1 more game, they clinch. They clinch number 5. They have the tiebreaker. So if you're a Dallas Luka owner, you better hope they lose their next game. But again, as our friend Joao knows that they're against Toronto tomorrow, I told Joao, do not even pray that they'll beat Toronto. That's not gonna happen also. That's not gonna happen. Dallas needs that win. Toronto wants to lose. I mean, I know stranger things have happened, but not in that kind of a situation where one team wants to lose.
Yeah, not in a situation like this, wherein there's really not much to play for the other teams, especially a team like Toronto.
I would assume Luka will not play the last game. Right. I would assume. So, because they would probably clinch tomorrow.
Yep, so we'll see about that. And then, so the Lakers will we're not sure if LeBron's gonna play, but
they're gonna try to win at least.
Yeah,
right?
they're gonna go out there all out.
Yes.
Golden State and Memphis is also in a battle. They have 2 games remaining for that 8th seed.
Yes.
8th spot, and that's a crucial spot, like we talked about earlier, in the East with Charlotte and Indiana. So, unlike Charlotte and Indiana, I would assume both these teams would want that 8th spot.
But tomorrow, Steph, Dre, and Andrew Wiggins are questionable and might not play. So you're asking why? Because nobody has won the tiebreaker among these 2 teams. So it doesn't matter. Tomorrow's game and Memphis next game doesn't matter. Even if they lose, Golden State win doesn't matter. You know why? Because the last day it's Golden State versus Memphis. So on the last day, they will play each other. Whoever wins that wins the tiebreaker. So it doesn't. The most is that one team will be 1 game below the other, and if they beat that team, they'll tie and win the tiebreaker. So they'll overtake the other. Yeah. That's why the only important game would be the last game, which is
good. Which is going to be good for fantasy owners, right? That's going to be the perfect scenario.
It's gonna be fun. That game will be fun.
I guess of all the games in the last day, probably this is the only game that matters.
That's what I said. That's the game that has lots of things riding on that game. So that's why you won't see Steph tomorrow. I highly doubt he's gonna play in a non-bearing game tomorrow. Tomorrow's game, it's weird. Tomorrow's game is no bearing, but then the next game will be the big one. So they'll probably rest those guys. And sadly, Memphis might too, because they have a back-to-back tomorrow. So Jonas Valanciunas, Ja Morant, what's the point of playing these guys if the more important thing is the game on Sunday, right?
Yep. That's probably, of all those things we talked about, that's the game that has the most in line.
Yeah.
We'll see next 3 days.
And finally,
San
Antonio clinch number 10.
Yeah. So really, San Antonio doesn't have anything to play for
so
at this point.
Rest DeRozan, please rest DeRozan, rest DeJounte, rest everybody. Pop, I think he'll do that. Don't have to tell him.
I wouldn't be surprised if he rests them, or if they still have 2 games left, so at least one of those games he might rest them. Worst if he rests them for both games.
Yeah.
But that rarely happens. Players resting 2 straight games without any injuries.
Yes.
So yeah, those are the playoff scenarios, and that's quite important because we don't know who plays towards the end, and that might lead to some players getting more minutes if some of the star players rest. And
if I can give an advice, I already prepared my Sunday, the last day roster I will be using what I just said right now. I assume those who doesn't have anything to play for, I put them out. I put them all out. So I rested all the players. I mean, I'm assuming that will happen. So I looked at the roster. If I only have 8, let's say, players, I'm sure that will play. These guys are 50-50. Then I made myself keep 1 or 2 moves so that I can drop for the last day. Because don't be fooled by thinking everybody has a game on the last day. But
not everybody's gonna play.
Yeah, so keep 1
everybody's
move
gonna play.
keep 1 move for the last day. Yeah.
One of the managers following us also asked if he should wait it out. He has 1 more move left, and if he should use that 1 move for tomorrow, or wait until the last day, or maybe on Sunday. Wait for Sunday's game, and I told him to just wait for Sunday's game.
Wait.
He has more players playing tomorrow, so that's an advantage as well for him. So he will get a clearer picture of where he stands, and then maybe on Sunday he can adapt and adjust. He also anticipates not everyone is gonna play on Monday, so at least he knows that, and he can plan it out. So just save your ads unless you're really desperate and there's one free agent there that's going to be a cut above everyone else. But at this point, there's really none out there who's going to be better than everyone else. I think anyone you could get from the free agent pool will be pretty much the same. It will just be based on the needs, what category you need. All right, so some of these players, let's talk about them. Detroit has Jaleel Okafor, Killian Hayes, Saban Lee. We talked about Killian Hayes before. Saban Lee, I'm pretty sure these 2 players you know. Okafor, Stewart's going to be out.
Yes.
So that means more time for Okafor. This guy is pretty solid when he gets the playing time. He can score.
Yes.
And rebound. I guess that's pretty much it. JaVale McGee could play if Jokic decides to rest, I guess. MPJ rested today. I think Jokic might rest tomorrow, as I said. I mean, they might play MPJ tomorrow, so that's the usual thing some teams do.
Unless Jokic just says
decides he wants to play.
I'm a Serbian, I don't rest, as he said. So I hope that is true. Let's see, Jokic.
Yeah. From Toronto, Jalen Harris played well again today. He played okay. He scored a lot, but
yeah,
the other categories were quite empty compared to the first game he had. DeAndre Bembry and Stanley Johnson had this probably the best game of his NBA career.
Yes.
So he could be a good stream for a Toronto game. Kenrich Williams, we talked about him. One of our favorite here. He should be solid. Jordan Poole, Juan Toscano Anderson, or Kent Bazemore for the Golden State Warriors if they rest their star players tomorrow. Terrence Mann and Reggie Jackson for the Clippers. Most likely, I think, has it been declared that Kawhi and Paul George will rest?
They're questionable. It's already game time decision, and I think they'll rest. I don't think they rest.
Yeah, so Reggie Jackson and Terrence Mann are obvious adds there. We know all these since the season. Chimezi Metu, Mo Harkless, and Terrence Davis in Sacramento. Justin James. What team is Justin James? Who he played for?
Sacramento.
Right?
Sacramento. And he had 31 points today.
So
Now, if you're like Jeremy and you play the odds, probably not gonna score. Not probably gonna score 10 points tomorrow. But well, they don't have any more players, so let's see.
Yeah, Terrence Davis could be a good ad.
Terrence Davis, it's a good ad. Metu and Davis were good ads.
And
good
Harkless for some defense if you need the stocks, but just the stocks for Harkless. Kyra Lewis in New Orleans, and of course the Houston guys, Kyrie Thomas, KJ Martin. Who else are in Houston? Olynyk could play.
Thomas, Olynyk,
Armani Brooks.
Armani Brooks.
So those guys, we've been talking about them for the past few weeks, past few games. So they could be good ads for tomorrow. All right. So that's it for Daily Fantasy Quickie. We'll go back to discussing our Roto strategy for the next 3 days. Hopefully you guys are in a close battle as well if you are in the Roto leagues or even the head-to-head leagues. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye guys.